This is the standard up against the Syndra. If you can get ahead, you can really roll that lane.
I also like that it's paired with the Yuumi because Ezreal's the type of, not Ezreal, I'm sorry, Ekko's the type of champion that when you see him in a draft, you could potentially talk about, you know, playing through side lanes, split pushing, but I definitely feel like in this meta, Ekko is much more of a flanking and skirmishing champion, setting up your W, trying to get, you know, good value out of your ultimate, especially when you have a Yuumi in there who can keep you alive so long, make sure you get a lot of value out of your rotations of cooldowns. It feels like this will be a really massive pick. And, I mean, both comps definitely signal we're going to get these team fights, we're going to get these skirmishes. I'd say BLG's looks like it should come online a bit earlier because we have the Syndra who should have good pressure in the mid lane early on, to where LGDs, I'm sorry, is definitely looking more towards that 1 to 2 item mark.
One thing I will say, though, is this Sylas top up against Mordekaiser, I don't feel good about it, Lyric. We see Sylas top sometimes in the LPL. Obviously, it's a very successful pick over in the LCK, but here, even as the Ornn counter, it's very rare that we see it succeed.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure how to feel about it. It's not a matchup I've seen personally in a long time, but I feel like Mordekaiser should have a really easy time. Obviously, Sylas, most of his matchups depend on him being able to all-in aggressively, and you all-in the Mordekaiser, you're going to give him an easy way to find an isolated Q, going to be able to get that passive damage in there as well.
I mean, even if you steal the death row, Mordekaiser's okay with that. Mordekaiser's like, oh, you want to 1v? Let's go, dude. I'm down for this. We'll have to see. Obviously, as is often the case with these two teams, so much of this is going to come down to those junglers as well. Meteor versus Peanut.
I like your death realm point because even look at the other champions. You don't want to pull Sett into the death realm. Late game, you don't really want to pull Ekko into the death realm. He's going to do a fine time dealing with you in that isolated 1v1. You're going to be able to pull, you know, pretty much the bot laners.
Which, if you can get Yuumi into the death realm, feels pretty great. But, you know, it's going to be difficult to ever pull Yuumi into the death row. We'll have to see. Ezreal could be the prime target there, but with QSS being an item that exists, it might not happen. We'll have to wait and see. LGD, though, they're against the ropes right now, boys and girls. This is a team that wants to make playoffs. This is a team that, on paper, should make playoffs. As xiye just tanked a tower shot. Maybe they shouldn't make playoffs, Lyric.
To be fair, I do agree with the Colonel on this one. I actually like their draft quite a bit. It feels like they have, you know, ways to survive the early laning phase.
No,
oh god,
xiye, don't start the game like this. Okay, he's out. He's okay, but look at the roster. How is this team not just like easily fourth? You know,
Munchables is quite offended by LGD's small mistakes.
It's not the small mistakes.
It's the small mistakes.
It's the consistent lack of consistency. It's the fact that this roster has so much insane talent on it. The fact that their highs are so damn high. And then we see them just doing daft stuff. It feels like they just randomly don't show up to games and series for very little reason.
FoFo doing a great job in this lane so far. Gonna miss out on 2 Qs, but still zoning xiye off. And the thing I want to point out is I definitely favor BLG's comp in the early laning phase for the fact that we have this Trundle, so you can go for these early ganks. You know, in the mid lane, you throw the pillar, xiye has to burn a flash. Now it's going to lose so much pressure. Same with the top lane, right? You're going to have good gank synergy with the fact that for both sides, you have 80 jungler with AP top lane, so mixed damage coming out, and at least forcing those flashes early could be something Meteor looks for. For the side of LGD, I don't think it's actually too troublesome. Even if you end up getting pushed in, and sure, BLG have some pressure in some lanes, it doesn't feel like they can really tangibly turn that into anything as of now. Even if they pick up some early dragons, I feel like, especially at the 2 item mark, you know, especially on Ezreal famously, but even on the Ekko, right, picking up Proto Belt into something like the Lichbane, you're going to become really strong.
So we just saw a really good trade from Kingen. And suddenly I'm thinking, maybe this matchup's okay for Sylas. Maybe you can do well if you get that first trade off, if the W isn't stacked for the shield.
Mordekaiser, it's a lot like the Jax matchup. When you think about Mordekaiser as a champion, right, you definitely want to get that first base off. You want to pick up something like the Haunting guys early on, and that's when you're going to really come online with that damage from your passive especially.
So it's worth mentioning with this Ekko matchup against the Syndra, we regularly refer to this as kind of a counter matchup in favor of the Ekko, but this is the kind of matchup that really does depend how the lane goes. xiye going to be able to face dive away from the pillar here, but he's going to be forced to flash. Nice little scat of the week there from FoFo.
Yep, and it was a great game coming out because, you know, I would definitely call it a counter, The only time the Ekko is kind of vulnerable is in the very early landing phase. Once he even gets off his first back, to me, even if it's, you know, at level 4, level 5, if you can get something like a Dark Seal, or in this case, he bought a Doran's Ring, you're going to be able to spam Q and just clear out the wave so effectively. Syndra should really have no ability to bully you out of lane.
Yeah. I think the key thing, because obviously I was interrupted by the fight, the key thing about the matchup is whoever gets ahead will have an advantage. Like, if Syndra does get a lead early, it becomes very difficult for Ekko to be able to step up because of the kill threat. Dodges away from the stun here, and xiye phase dives onto the chicken, so he's going to be all right. So yeah, if Syndra can get a lead, it becomes very difficult for the melee lane.
Yes, definitely true. And that's why we talked about the gank coming in from the Trundle. We even mentioned at level 2, like, hey, if he has to blow that flash, this becomes a really hard lane for Ekko to play. And now we want to see some repeat plays coming from Meteor to abuse that summoner spell.
Difficulty being FoFo doesn't have any mana now, so even if he does come in, it's going to be difficult to make something happen. Peanut, he's nearby, but he's just going to go over to his crooks.
But FoFo does have teleport.
He also had a biscuit, so if he was hungry before, he's not anymore. That's the old rhyme.
Is that really a rhyme? Is that really like a
well,
thing?
it did
I
rhyme.
mean, it is a rhyme, but like, is that a saying?
Not that I know of, but maybe. You know, I haven't met everyone. I haven't
Munchable
heard every saying.
Making a children's book.
I've been working on it for years. Hang on, Kingen's in trouble, and this is not a children's book anymore because there's murder afoot, Lyric.
Yes, there is, and LGD ganking top lane. That's weird. We don't see that too often, but hey, nice take advantage of what we talked about. Hey, we have 80 junglers comboing with AP top laners, which always feels very nice with the mixed damage.
Oh no, Mark, you need to sit on his shoulder. You're a cat. You're not meant to be on the floor. Those are the rules of the universe. Kramer going to re-engage on the fight here, getting some damage onto XinMo. It's going to be all right in the end. But it looked a little bit dicey for LGD at the start of that trade, but they're going to be all right.
Happen we see bot lanes are fine. We just saw FoFo TP back in the mid lane. He did pick up the Dark Seal as well as a Mana Crystal, but hey, xiye also got off a pretty decent reset. Is going to be able to pick up a Dark Seal and some boots for himself. Right now, items across the board pretty even.
Peanut moving down to the bottom side here. There is a ward. It's not going to spot him as Peanut. It's just making sure that no kind of dive shenanigans can come across here. We'll just take splash on the spot, but oh no, wings. In fact, they're just going to set up XinMo. Any kill will do, they say. Oh no, Peanut. Face breaker just a second too late.
Yeah, not going towards the mid lane where she actually had push if they wanted to go.
You had so long. You had so long to get away from that. And he was like, ooh, honey fruit, that looks delicious.
I like how today you feel like the disappointed dad. Like, you were going off on LGD 5 minutes ago, now you're going off on wings. No one's safe.
I mean, like, what did he expect? Like, did he think xiye was just not looking at the minimap?
Maybe. But,
maybe.
You know,
maybe.
We talked about, you know, he has the Dark Seal, he has the Dorans. Now he's just going to spam Q pretty much as much as he wants, going to be able to constantly push in that wave and start to make his way towards making plays on sides.
Maybe I'm just grumpy today. I don't know.
We are towards the end of the split. It's been not a particularly long day necessarily, but it's been an interesting day.
It is the end of day 3 for both of us in a row.
Yes,
so
and we're here on Wednesday once again. Dagda and Hysterics.
Dagda and Hysterics tomorrow, bringing you the games.
Those lazy guys not forcing themselves into the schedule.
SMA.
Shame on them.
How could they do this? I'm sort of losing it a little bit here, Lyric. Not just in terms of the game, but like my sanity in general, I feel like.
Well,
I don't know if that's a symptom of casting the LPL for long enough.
One thing about the game that can hopefully, you know, bring some excitement is that, hey, LGD have TP advantage on top side. We've seen xiye can constantly push out this mid lane. Maybe we can see LGD go for a dragon.
We could see LGD go for a dragon. It's been up for 3 minutes at this point. And they do have the push in this bottom side. One of the issues, obviously, is they do have an Ezreal, which is not the best in these early skirmishes, especially when Wings already has a BF sword. Kramer has himself a tier and a cult.
But we have a TP advantage.
So you have a TP advantage. I still have a feeling that maybe they just don't do anything, though. With that cult in the bottom lane, that signals to me not just about I'm not just looking at the lane assignments and how things look right now. I'm looking at the mentality that goes into buying that gold.
Well, we have BLG getting Rift Herald, so with LGD not listening to me, not taking Dragon, it can be a pretty one-sided trade.
It's not even a trade at all.
Yeah, true.
Worst trade deal in the history of trade deals.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe ever.
But hey, maybe we're getting something. We see Peanut back on the bottom half of the map.
Meteor going to be able to finish that Herald off. Wings is underneath the tower. We'll be able to be blocked there. Hex Flash over, but XinMo, that was a very nice little cue from him. Ruins it for Peanut. Doesn't mean that they're going to get away, but it's going to be a couple of plates going the way of LGD.
Yeah, so I'd say ultimately pretty even trade because we have a bit of a gold lead for LGD right now after getting those plates, but obviously Herald going to be able to equalize somewhere on the map.
So Kingen trying to find ways in the top side as well. And I'm not even sure whose Death Realm that was. I think that was Kingen's Death Realm right now. As Meteor's moving in as well, but Shing's going to be fine. And if you go for this dive, he has his Death Realm available. Langx forced to flash though. So a nice pickup there from the side of BLG.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to potentially use the Herald, but actually no plates down on top side, so makes sense they don't want to elect into that one, and LGD finally picking up the Dragon is nice to see.
I've just noticed the insane synergy that Sett and Yuumi has, not just in terms of like being able to work well as champions in League of Legends, they're also both cats. So that's good.
Sett's a cat?
Sett's a cat man. Have you not seen his cat ears?
No.
Yeah, Sett's got cat ears.
I mean, I know he has the ears, but I assumed he was, you know, whatever Xayah and Rakan are.
Yeah, Vestayan. But Vestayan is not specifically bird. Birds don't have ears, Larry. Well, they do, but they're little holes in the sides of their head. Anything else you want to know about nature while we're on the topic? Ah, dear. You've been subscribed to Bird Ear Facts.
I have, and I'm honestly pretty speechless. Oh, but okay. We still have Herald up for the side of BLG. And with the fact that LGD do have the Ekko, and again, it feels like they're going to have a bit more advantage playing out through side lanes, maybe it signals to me that we're going to see it used in the mid lane.
Good damage out of xiye there. Very nice trade on the Ekko. Yeah, and that'll be the question, as you rightly say. Meteor has the Herald. Where's he going to go with that one? Because getting a bit of gold onto FoFo would be nice, but they do have Aphelios on the bottom side of the map. Just getting Aphelios a bunch of gold is always a nice thing to do.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like that might be nice compositionally, but at least for map state, right, taking on this mid turret, not elongating the side lanes, would be quite nice for the side of BLG. BLG are looking for a play. Obviously, though, xiye has his ultimate available. Yeah,
you can see Kingen moving down. I don't think he's got a hijack right now. xiye dodges the stun. Nicely done there by xiye. He said right at the start today he's been feeling more confident recently, and you really can see it in his play.
Yeah, definitely looking good, and I feel like we've seen a lot of bad Ekko performances this split, honestly. A lot of players who took this matchup and then did lose out, but xiye having a good time so far.
Looking at you, Icon. Icon also had some really good Ekko games as well, so. Icon is like one of the most coin flip players in our entire league, honestly, in my opinion.
Yes, he is. Ooh,
it's going to be 4 plates here for BLG, but they're going to be teleported on, and Langx, he's found a 1v1 with Aphelios, and we all know how this one ends. While the rest of the fight is going down, though, Wings has actually managed to flash away and keep himself safe. Huge amounts of lifesteal off the Moonlight Vigil, and now Meteor trying to get out with his own life, but xiye's chased him down. He's looking good for OGD. Damage going across. The Tempered Fate goes wide, though, and XinMo trying to get the stun. xiye gets back out.
And xiye given so much freedom with the Yuumi, like we talked about, able to get on the backline, Mark hitting a good ultimate. xiye able to finish off that kill onto Meteor, and Langx sadly not able to close out and finish a kill off on Wings, but hey, BLG pretty much whiffed everything in that fight, and LGD feel great.
LGD feel pretty fantastic over that one to get themselves a pick. And it was going to be, I believe it was xiye that picked up the kill as well.
Yep.
Always going to be very nice to get your kills onto that Ekko. We said already that that mid lane matchup very much dependent on who gets ahead. If xiye has kills, he already had the advantage. Now he's going to be running away with it.
And especially the first item, Proto Belt for Ekko, is such a massive spike. It actually speeds up the animation of your EQ combo when you EQ Proto Belt. Also, obviously, melee champion, you know, Proto Belt gives an auto attack reset when you are Ekko and have the 3-hit passive. That's always nice.
Which animation does it speed up?
It's actually weird, but it's like 0.1 or 2 seconds faster on like the dash to like the auto animation than normal.
Well, I guess there is like a tiny little pause
Yeah.
on the dash, right? You kind of stand still for just a second. I'm sure any Ekko players out there have felt it, where you get your auto cancelled and your guy just kind of stands for a second.
It's very slight, so a lot of people don't notice it, but it actually feels a lot smoother.
It is not an instant auto attack, so interesting. Learning with Lyric. I'll teach you about bird ears. He'll teach you about Proto Belt on specifically Ekko. There we go. What a tag team. Dude. We've got nature covered. We've got specifically Legends
Are we
interactions
making
covered.
a new LPL video series?
Dude, this is the kind of podcast I've been looking for. The kind of weird one with nature somehow involved.
Bevs with the boys,
featuring
items in nature.
I don't know why I've become I'm not a nature expert. I just know that birds have holes in their head. Anyway, I'm going to talk about League of Legends now. BLG got themselves one bonus player over the likes of LGD, but importantly, they got a whole bunch of that gold into the pocket of Wings, who's well on his way towards that Infinity Edge. Worth mentioning that Aphelios, we've completely seen the Infinity Edge build take over at this point. Like, we used to see Essence Reavers and things as first item, but these days, it is Infinity Edge every single time.
Yeah, you're right. It's just kind of maybe an understanding after it being in the meta so long of what build feels best. But hey, Venus going in with the Yuumi.
It doesn't really matter what he's built in this scenario. That was a weird interaction, but Wings is going to be stunned up and probably taken down here. The final chapter going through as Kramer gets the kill in the end, but there was a good stun out of FoFo. Unleash Power not enough, though. And now you can see on your minimap, xiye's moving his way down. They want to extend this play. I don't think they get the chance.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, LGD end up losing the Dragon, but I'd much rather take the kill and the gold trade as of now, right? Gonna be able to potentially stack up 3 Infernals. We talked about how we like how their comp fares a bit better in the late game rather than what BLG have. And even xiye getting some free time with this wave in the mid lane is always nice.
Yeah, able to just clear these waves up. They're going to be about even in CS.
Ooh, now they're going to hover bot. And Meteor is in a very awkward position.
Meteor doesn't have much of a way out, but with a Bard in play, there is always a way. That's another rhyme for the book there, Lyric. XinMo going to zoom through the wrong wall, though, and he finds himself further in trouble. He's going to get jumped on by Kramer. That's another easy kill for the Ezreal.
Well, no, the rhyme for the book was sick, but
sadly
for XinMo
keep developing it.
Yes, we will. Can I get credit for giving the idea? Can I like get some like, you know, what's it called? Royalties?
Royalties?
Yeah.
You're overestimating how successful this book is going to be, my friend. I think if I post it on Twitter for free, maybe 3 people will read it. That's the best we could hope for, I'm afraid.
I have faith in you. This is that's why we're the duo.
That's true. You can be co-author if you want.
That's why we're the Lunchables duo.
Everyone loves Lunchables, except for me, because I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, jeez. I did love Lunchables as a kid, though. It was, you know, something you look forward to every few weeks. Not every week. I didn't always have Lunchables.
This is a weird anecdote. Which days did you have Lunchables specifically, Lyric?
I feel like it felt like maybe a Thursday, Friday, for no particular reason.
I never had Lunchables because I had school dinners. The UK school dinners used to be something to behold. My God, jam roly-poly with tubby custard. Unbelievable scenes in the lunch hall. But then Jamie Oliver came along and he ruined everything. Healthy dinners, my ass, Jamie Oliver. Took away the turkey Twizzlers and gave us vegetables. Who wants that?
I just love how sassy Munchables is today. Holy. Well, we have Rick Herald up. We have a team aggressively pushing mid lane for a turret. There's other League of Legends things going on right now.
There is all kinds of League of Legends going on right now. LGD are looking good in this game, though. Has to be said.
Oh.
After game number 1, it's a good sign that they are ahead in this one.
So what you're telling me is we are getting a 3-game series.
I think that might be the case. But I'm saying there's a chance still for BLG here.
Meteor's bot, there's no chance for this Rift Herald.
Like, let's be honest. Coming into today, what did you expect out of the series? You expected LGD to be the favorite, but you expected BLG to at least win 1 game. Because that's the way this had to go. Nobody's going to die. Chrono Break exists. They continue with Herald.
Yep, so they get that. There's the combo that we talked about. And, you know, BLG is going to do a decent job of pressuring Langx off bot side, so Kingen will be able to get a bit of gold in response.
But LGD should be able to answer with the turret in the top side here. Peanut moving in on towards FoFo, but Scout of the Week going to keep the Syndra safe here.
I love all these iterations of the Yuumi combos we had. You know, we had Yuumi Hecarim, we've had Yuumi Olaf, and we are back to Yuumi Sett. Oh, Yuumi plus Volibear also sounds pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Yuumi Kassadin, I think, is the scariest one in my mind. I just remember, I don't even remember who the Kassadin was. I just remember distinctly there was a Kassadin Yuumi play that was just disgusting.
I remember when there was peak Aatrox. Like, to me, that one was the scariest because of how much healing he did, but...
Also, the Knight LeBlanc play where he had a Yuumi on his shoulder. God damn, that was terrifying.
It was something else.
Also, one of the ones that we have yet to really see in the LPL, but they saw it over in the LCK, was that Tom and Jerry combo with the Twitch Yuumi. Obviously, Twitch not in the best spot right now in terms of the meta and in terms of the compositions that will be built around him. But when he's got Yuumi and he gets that ult off, the attack speed is pretty disgusting and it's really hard to shut down.
See Pink's coming out on the bottom half of the map. Obviously, xiye's putting pressure in the side lane. Already talked about, he's an Ekko. Ekko does great in the side lane, so he's going to push out that wave and just back off. Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. They have great wards for a flank, though. We see a very, very deep ward in BLG's bottom side jungle.
We certainly do.
Oh, it's gone.
See the TP coming on through. It's just going to be to the mid lane, though. Nothing too crazy here. As we will see everybody collapsing. We got a team fight on our hands, Lyric. Here we go. The game finally kicks off properly. 20 minutes in as Langx will be searching for the death realm, but Kingen has that death realm ultimate available as well. Nice little true shot barrage to tag out a couple of the carries here. Death's grasp goes a little bit wide. And we reset once more, Lyric.
I mean, this is where LGD thrive. LGD thrive, and hey, they have side lane set up. You know, the macro's there. Now they're just going to watch you. They're going to watch you. They're going to watch you misstep. And then they're all going to all in.
They're going to stare you down until you quiver in your boots. And the second you quiver just a little too quiverily, they're going to jump on you. I don't think quiverily is a word, but they're going to start dragging regardless of the dictionary.
We also got to remember that Langx can always pull Meteor into the Death Realm, so it is a very easy way if they just want to end up securing the Drake and then backing off.
This is an unfortunate Rift Herald. It's not going to get the charge, but importantly, it got the Drake smited away there by LGD to get themselves that Infernal. It's Kingen and Peanut in a 1v1 that Peanut is just going to sprint away from. And BLG right now can try and escape, but they're not going to be allowed to. xiye Chrono breaks back out of the fight as Langx now with the Death Realm. He's on towards FoFo, but Scout of the Week is going to keep FoFo safe for now. BLG doing a good job to group up and stay safe. Safety in numbers. They're playing like lions right now. But Kramer going to be able to get away. Kingen trying to move in as well. Now inside track of the mid lane from LGD as they go back in onto Meteor. I can't believe nobody except for XinMo died here. There's one down. FoFo falls. And this could be an opportunity for LGD to find more.
Yeah, and this definitely feels like the pace of game LGD thrives in, right? It's a bit slower. It's a bit more calculated.
They're going to find more as well. Meteor forced to flash, but Kingen is found. Everybody pulls him in with the haymaker to finish off the kill. xiye grabbing the credit for that one. It looked good for a second.
It looked cool. It looked like a massive play where everyone was going to die, and only Kingen died.
This is one of the best things about Sett, right? Every play looks like a massive sick play.
Hey, you know, I feel like, you know, you did a great job for seeing what would happen this game. We said, hey, we see Sylas and a Mordekaiser. I don't expect much. We can see this game. We haven't gotten much. We see XinMo go down early on. And, I mean, LGD are kind of split. We see the Ekko head towards the mid lane. Looks like they just want to push. They at least zoned BLG off, so they are going to get a fast track mid. Hey, it's Ezreal, Yuumi. They're extremely safe. You're not going to get on top of them very easily. LGD push past to get to this mid turret. They get a bit of damage onto Meteor. FoFo is going to go down here. Kramer hitting, you know, amazing Q.
That was blind as well. And also, Kramer's arcane shift during that fight was right on the very edge of range. Just a single Teemo further back, he wouldn't have made it over that wall. It could have been a very different fight entirely. LGD looking good though. The Colonel gives him a 70%, which I don't know why, but that's like a middle thumb. I feel like that's a thumbs up for them, but you know, the Colonel does as the Colonel does. Don't question him around here.
so they're just controlling vision. I was kind of wondering, like, they're going to like start this Herald, have Kramer push mid just come, but that looked risky. I'm glad they also realized it's not a good play, and BLG responding by 5-manning mid.
Langx going to be on the bottom side of the map right now, though, so they'll be able to at least get some pressure elsewhere on the map, because xiye is top side as well. Kramer just going to be trying to clear the minions. This tower shouldn't go down in the mid lane for LGD, so now BLG have to respond elsewhere on the map and realize if they stick around, they're going to lose towers.
I mean, BLG are 6k gold down right now, so we need to highlight that. Their comp should win a group is 5. We talked about potentially finding picks early on with the Bard, but haven't been able to set that up. And hey, again, she is going to win the 1v1 in the side lane as of now. Langx going to feel fine just to push out the bottom wave as well. Then we're going to come to these team fights where this Ezreal's massive, and everyone is just getting buffed up by Mark.
Mark going to be zipping about all over the shop. We'll see what on earth BLG can do about this one. It's a 0-7 scoreline right now. BLG, they got themselves 1 tower. That's about it alongside that dragon. Langx could be in trouble here as Kingen. Went for the GLP, but didn't commit to the death realm. And we reset once more, Mr. Lyric.
There's no resets. We see posturing, aggressive posturing. Look at xiye's going back. And okay, we're kind of resetting now, but Dragon is up in 1 minute and 21 seconds. We will fight for that. LGD will most likely win. They have some vision. What do BLG need? BLG need a 6th Tempered Fate ultimate coming out from XinMo to pick someone off first. But that relies on a misstep from LGD. They can try to just, you know, commit, let's say, 3 men to topside, kill the Ekko first, and then move. But once again, I feel like xiye would have to mess up. He has ultimate, he has flash, he has he has a bunch of escape tools.
It's always hard to get onto the Ekko. Ekko as a target is always very difficult to deal with, especially when he's already got that Protobelt and that Lich Bane. Even if you do get onto him, there's a very real chance that you just kill someone and then ults out anyway.
Oh!
Hang on. There's a Banshee's in play for FoFo. He's going to look for the 1v1 here. As soon as that ult comes through, Chrono Break into play. Now can xiye escape is the question. TP comes through from the rest of his team. As he jumps straight on XinMo, gets his electrocute procced. Langx happy to tank as he gets onto Meteor, but Kingen found a death realm of his own onto xiye. It's going to be Langx, the only one to go down, and BLG have found themselves a play. Flash from Kramer to keep himself out of the Tempered Fate as xiye gets back under the tower. Peanut arriving here. They've got a Yuumi. They've got a showstopper onto the team. Everybody pulled in and CC'd up, but Kramer doesn't have that much damage just yet. Can he turn this fight around? Needs to jump on forwards, get these Qs on through. True Shot Barrage available, goes across the team. Everybody is so damn low. If Kramer can find the Qs, he can clean this one up. BLG in so much trouble because xiye came back into the play. They want to get onto Peanut, but they can't find the targets. Double kill for Kramer. In goes xiye. And what a fight from LGD.
Great play coming out from Mark. Great play coming out from Kramer. And this is definitely going to turn into a Baron for LGD.
Beautiful stuff there from LGD. Really, really great play as well from Kramer and xiye, especially to sweep that fight.
It started off as a 5v3. BLG had gotten to the fight first. Peanut and Mark were not there. They're only able to take down Langx, and then LGD say, hey, we're way stronger than them. We have all of our cooldowns available. We can take this 5v4 as long as we have this Yuumi, you know, healing us up, empowering us to do all this damage. They stalled a bit of time for xiye to recall, get back to the fight, and it feels like those 4 members all played exceptionally well.
So let's take another look, because it looked pretty good for BLG to start things off.
Like we said, 5v3, right? Look at the minimap. Sett and Yuumi are not here. They pull Langx into the death round, but they're not able to get on top of either xiye or Kramer. We do see the Temper Fate comes down. It does miss, sadly enough. xiye is able to get away with his life, and LGD have the damage to win out in this 4v5.
So yeah, and then the rest of this was all about, you know, Kramer's playing Ezreal. Nobody has the range to get even close to him. Everybody's so low on HP. He just has to play at max range, and then xiye happy to be the one that goes in.
They also had no cooldowns left, and you know, we're seeing on the left corner of our screen that LGD are also picking up the Infernal Drake, so that will be 3 for them. They are going to be on Soul Point now. They have Baron, though, so it doesn't even feel like this game's going to get to a point where we get to Soul, because there's a 9k gold lead for the side of LGD.
Yeah, it's one of those games where, you know, usually I talk about scaling, I talk about the Aphelios, the Syndra, how well they're going to do in the late stages of the game, but it doesn't feel like they're going to make it to the late stages of the game because they are so far behind right now. Kramer happy to poke away underneath this tower with the Baron buff, with Ezreal, Yuumi. this becomes increasingly difficult for BLG.
Yeah, and like we said, there has to be a miracle play. Probably has to be some kind of miracle-tempered fate, you know, caught onto, let's say, like Kramer, Mark, and xiye, something like that. They're caught on a brush, all 5 men are already there. I mean, even describing it, it sounds insanely unrealistic.
So in we go. Showstopper is going to bring Kingen into the play. Death Realm going to be used here by Langx as Kingen finds himself in the 1v1, but it's not one that he can win anymore, unfortunately for him. True Shot Barrage goes through. And well, I think that might be that lyric, as now LGD can break open this base.
Yep, it has felt like that has been that for at least the past 13, 14 minutes.
Are you suggesting that the fat lady is singing?
Yes.
Are you suggesting this might be all she wrote?
Yes!
My goodness.
I know.
I'm trying to think of more cliches. Wing splashes away with his life, but xiye will be able to finish off the inhib in the end.
Well, now
that's that.
I mean, right,
Once again.
we said LGD are the team that likes to take things step by step. They are just going to take the inhibitor back, still have Baron up, go towards the next lane, you know, rinse and repeat. LGD are a much more meticulous team than I'd say a lot of our teams are in LPL. They do try to play the more, like, I want to say traditional League of Legends. Is that fair?
Yeah. Certainly the traditionally stronger style of League of Legends. And, like, it's not that surprising, right? Because when you think of slow, methodical, objective-based gameplay, historically you think of teams like T1, teams from the LCK. Guess who the leader of this team is? Guess who's in the jungle? It's Peanut. Guess which region he comes from?
Which is hilarious for the fact that right now LCK is not like that at all. We see teams like Damwon just like destroying people.
But Peanut's not in the LCK anymore.
That is true.
He's from a time far before aggressive play in the LCK.
Hey, even Kramer is, you know, played on Afrika, played on Flash Wolves. Flash Wolves were also a bit of a slower team as well, so. I mean, even Mark, thinking back to like Sino Dragon and like DMO 2019, they were more of a late game team fighting team. Actually, pretty much all these guys coming from teams that played that style.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised at the way that this second game is going, both in terms of result and style of gameplay here. True Shot Barrage is going to go through. Obviously, at this point in the game, the True Shot Barrage, not that long of a cooldown when you're able to spam out the Qs, just sit in these siege scenarios. Peanut caught by a Tempered Fate, but Peanut is not the guy that you want to be focusing on in this fight. Meteor tries to step forward here. LGD, they were 4-man strong because xiye is off on the back side of the fight, but he's used his Chrono Break very early here. Going to be slowed up by XinMo. Kingen gets onto it for a 1v1. Kingen, I don't know if you can win that one, my friend. xiye going to zip out.
There's super minions on bot, so actually the 1-4 was great coming out from LGD. Pressure in all 3 lanes. I think xiye got a bit ahead of himself because, you know, they didn't need to look for this, but hey, his ult cooldown's actually almost back up, and even has TP to get back to the fight immediately.
Peanut happy to tank the damage on the front line here as the rest of the squad makes the play for the inhib. xiye going to TP in, find the flank as he moves in towards the play, but he was baiting wings all along. Beautifully done there by xiye. Oh, and Kramer finishes the kill. I thought he'd underestimated his damage. No such luck. xiye with the confidence plays across the board. Another one goes down for the double kill. This is what we wanted to see from LGD. There's going to be an answer from FoFo here, but he's taken down underneath the turret, and the healing will come through once more from Mark.
I mean, and this should be game for the side of LGD. You know, very clean, convincing win in game 2.
Nicely done here, and it's just going to be cleaning things up, getting rid of the minion waves, and getting onto these towers now as Peanut arrives. So does xiye with his Lich Bane. And that is going to be that lyric. The fat lady is done singing. Or is singing. I can't remember the way the phrase goes, but it's 17-2 and LGD takes us to game 3.
Thank God, because